Hi friends, welcome to my channel Learn English Easily. In my last class, I introduced verb to you. It has two functions. It has to satisfy two conditions. A verb must denote an action. It must indicate a tense also. And also, in the last class, I told you about subject, object and adverb. How can we identify these parts of a sentence? I taught you the simple method. There are set of question words to identify each category of the sentence. Now, in this class, I am going to deal with the subject. A subject will be always a noun or a pronoun. So, before dealing with the subject, we have to know about the position of nouns and pronouns in a sentence. There is a separate chapter for it that is called cases. Cases is a common word. To a lawyer, it may be a civil case or a criminal case. So every technician or every professional, they would use the word case, that is in different manners. But as far as English language is concerned, and especially in English grammar, cases, it is related to the nouns and pronouns. It helps us to define the position of a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. There are 5 cases. They are namely nominative case or subjective case, objective case or accusative case, third one is possessive case, fourth one is dative case, and the last one is vocative case. What are they? We have not heard of it so far. You may think like that. In English language, a noun or pronoun can be used in 5 positions only. Those 5 positions are defined in terms of cases. If it is used as a subject, it is said to be in nominative case or subjective case. If a noun or pronoun is used in a sentence as an object, then the position of that noun or pronoun as an object is said to be in objective case or accusative case. We shall say Rama saw Sita. Here, saw, that is verb. Who saw? Rama. Whom did Rama see? Sita. So Rama is subject, Sita is object. Rama is said to be in subjective case, as it is the subject of the sentence. It is said to be in subjective case or nominative case. Another name is nominative case. Sita, there Sita is object. In that sentence, Sita is object. So Sita, that noun, is said to be in objective case or accusative case. We are going to study only this thing today. Cases. In grammar, cases is a word often used to define the position of a noun or a pronoun in sentences. There are 5 cases. First one is nominative case or subjective case. When a noun or a pronoun is used as the subject of a sentence, it is said to be in nominative case. Second, accusative case or objective case. When a noun or pronoun is used as the object of a sentence, it is said to be in the accusative case. Third one is possessive case or genitive case. This form of noun or pronoun is used to show possession or ownership. The fourth one is dative case. When a noun or pronoun is used as an indirect object, it is said to be in dative case. Fifth one is vocative case. It is used to address or call someone directly. Now, I have read out the important points, but I want to explain it now. Let us take a sentence. I saw him. In this sentence, saw is verb. Who saw? I saw. Here, I is the subject. Whom did I see? Him. Him is object. So, him is said to be in objective case or accusative case. I, the subject, is said to be in nominative or subjective case. Now, let us take another sentence. He saw me. Here, the subject is he. Saw is verb. Who saw? He saw. Whom did he see? Me. So, here he is subject. So, it is said to be in nominative case or subjective case. Me, that is object. So, it is said to be in objective case or accusative case. Note the change of I. When it is subject, it is I. When it becomes object, its form changes. I becomes me. Have you noted down? Like that, he in the second sentence, subject, he. When it is subject, he. That person, singular, masculine, gender. That he becomes him when it becomes an object. So we have to note down those changes in pronouns. Now let us see. The form of a pronoun changes in nominative, accusative and possessive cases. Now let us look at a table. When first person singular I is a subject, it is I. When it becomes an object, it becomes me. And if it tells something about the possession of a person, it is my pen, like that. So I is nominative case, me is accusative case, my is possessive case. And in some sentences, there are chances for indirect objects. She gave me a book. Let us take that sentence. She gave me a book. Here, gave is verb. Who gave? She gave. So she is subject. What did she give? A book. That is the direct object. What or whom? We have two question words. What and whom. What did she give? A book. So a book is object. Here, she gave me a book. Me is not object. Whom did she give means there is am I a person to be given? No, only a book can be given. So here whom is not the object. But if you ask to whom, then you will get the answer. Then that is not an object. So it looks like an object. She gave a book to me. That is the expansion. So here me is not the object. The real object is a book. But me looks like an object. So it is called indirect object. That indirect object, only a noun or a pronoun will come as an indirect object. Then it will be said to be in the dative case. Indirect object is said to be in dative case. The form of accusative case is applied to the dative case also. So the form of accusative case is used in indirect objects also. That is the point we have to note. I, it is subject I. When it becomes object, me. When it is in the form of telling possession, then it becomes my. Like that, we, first person plural. When it becomes a subject, we. When it becomes an object, us. When it is in possessive case, our. You, subject. In accusative case also, you. In possessive case, your. He, third person singular, masculine gender. Subject, when it is subject, he. That means nominative case. When it becomes accusative case, him. And in possessive case, it becomes his. She, third person singular, feminine gender. When it is subject, she. When it becomes object, her. When it is in possessive case, there also we have to use her. It, third person singular, neuter gender. Subject, when it is subject, it. When it is used as an object, there also we have to use it. So of the accusative case is also it. Its, that is possessive case. They, third person plural. When it is used as a subject, it is they. When it becomes an object, them. That is in an accusative case, it is called them. In possessive case, that is called their. I hope you will understand these changes in pronouns. When it is used as a subject, it will be in one form. When it is used as an object, it will be in another form. When it tries to tell something about the possession of a person, then its form changes in the possessive case form. In the indirect object also, the form for the accusative case is used in pronouns, also in nouns. And the last one is vocative case. Vocative means calling. If you call somebody, hey John, here John, we are calling John. So there it is in vocative case. Hey you. Generally that will be used in vocative case. In pronouns, in nouns, the name will be used. The form of a pronoun in dative case is the same as in the accusative case. I had already explained that. The dative case, what is dative case? When a noun or a pronoun is in indirect speech, it is called dative case. In dative cases, the form of a dative case is similar or the same form of the accusative case. How the pronoun will be in the accusative case, that form will be used in dative case also. That is the point. In the vocative case, You is used. In the pronouns, you is generally used. That is the only possibility, I think. Now let us take nouns. Here, Rama saw Sita. Rama is subject. Sita is object. Interchange the subject and object. Sita saw Rama. There, the subject is Sita and the object is Rama. Though we have interchanged the object and the subject, the form of a noun doesn't change. Have you noted down? Rama, when it is subject, it is Rama. When it becomes object, it is the same word, Rama. There is no change. So, the nouns will not change in nominative and accusative case. Even in dative case, in indirect speech also. She gave me a book. There, me is indirect object. Instead of me, she gave Rama a book. There, she is subject, gave is verb, Rama is indirect object. A book is direct object, Rama. There also the same noun. It doesn't change. The noun will not change its form in nominative, accusative and dative case. Even in calling, vocative cases also. If you call Rama, how will you call Rama? Hey Rama! There also the same noun. It doesn't get any change. There is no change in the form. So, a noun, there will be no change in 4 cases. When it is an subject, there is no change. When it is an object, there is no change. When it is an indirect object, there is no change. When you use the word noun to call that person, there it is vocative case. There also it doesn't change. So there is no change in noun while it is used in different cases, in nominative, accusative, dative and vocative cases. In 4 cases, its form won't change. But in the possessive case, whose book is this? There in the pronoun we would say it is my book. So its form changes from I to my. But in the nouns, we shall see. Whose book is this? It is Rama's book. Rama. The noun is there. After that, there is a punctuation mark. What is that punctuation mark? Apostrophe. Rama, apostrophe. Then, leaving a space, you have to write down yes. Rama's. There is a letter yes. After any noun, if you put apostrophe mark and yes letter, the letter yes, then it is said to be in possessive case. I hope you might have well understood the various cases. When a noun or a pronoun is in the position of a subject, it is said to be in subjective case or nominative case. The second one is the noun or a pronoun when it is used as an object, it is said to be in objective case or accusative case. Third one is possessive case. It relates the possession or it implies or it refers possession or belongingness or ownership belonging to someone to mean that we use possessive case. And the fourth one is indirect object. If a noun or a pronoun is used as an indirect object, that noun or pronoun is said to be in dative case. And the form of a dative case is the same as in the accusative case. And the last one is vocative case. Vocative case means calling a person, a noun or a pronoun. There, in most of the cases, only you is used. As far as a pronoun is concerned, only the second person pronoun is used in vocative cases. But whereas in nouns, we use the same noun while calling. But the tone changes. Hey, Rama, that is the tone. We should not pronounce it as in ordinary sentences. You should use a different tone. Hey, Rama. You might have noted the tone. Now, let us see the last one. Concord. Concord means agreement. Accord. Accord means also agreement. They both refer the same one. Accord or concord. They mean the same one. What does it mean? What does it imply to us? In grammar, accord means there must be match between the subject and verb. According to the subject, the verb has to change its form. Suppose he sees a snake. Here, sees is verb. Whereas if I use the subject I should not use I sees. I see a snake. So according to the subject, the verb changes. We have to change the verb according to the subject. That is the main point. Such agreement, that means such a match between the subject and verb is called concord or accord. Concord or accord means the agreement between the subject and verb of a sentence. It implies that the verb form of a sentence is determined by the subject of the sentence. In the next classes, we shall see how a verb should be changed to show different tenses. There are 12 tenses. According to the subject, they have to change. And it will be dealt in the next classes. I hope you might have understood it very well. I want to recall it again. Cases is a chapter that deals with defining the position of a noun or a pronoun in a sentence. There are 5 cases. That means a noun or a pronoun can be used in English sentences at 5 levels. If it is used as a subject, it is said to be in nominative case. If it is used as an object, it is said to be in accusative case. If it is used to show possession or ownership or to mean belonging to such and such person, if it is used in such a way, then it is said to be in possessive case. If a noun or a pronoun is used as an indirect object, then it is said to be in dative case. And if it is used to address, for example, ladies and gentlemen, to address a gathering, there also the ladies and gentlemen, these are all in vocative case. So, vocative case is used to address or call someone directly. The first 3 types, that is nominative case, accusative case and possessive case. As far as these cases are concerned, the pronouns will have 3 different forms. For example, in nominative case, first person singular will be I, and when it is in the accusative case, it will be me. In possessive case, my. You have to keep it in your mind. When it is in subject, it must be in nominative case. When it is in the position of an object, it must be in accusative case. And if it is used to show some ownership or possession, then you have to use possessive case, that is mine. Here, first person singular, possessive case is mine. There are 7 pronouns, first person, second person and third person singular and plural pronouns. And these pronouns are tabulated here, and each type has its own nominative case form and accusative case form and possessive case form. And the next one is we have to know about nouns. So far we had seen only pronouns. And in the noun, it won't change in 4 cases. When it is used as a subject or object or indirect object, or when it is used to call somebody, there is no change. The same noun will be there. Only in the possessive case, after the noun, you have to put an apostrophe mark and the letter S. That is the possessive case form of a noun. And the last one is concord. According to the subject, the verb has to be changed. That means they have some close affinity. They have a match between them. There is an agreement. That is, the subject and verb should be in such form. They must be in such form. There are some rules. That rule is called concord or accord. And in the next classes, we shall see how a verb changes in different tenses. To show different tenses, how a verb changes, we shall see in the next classes. The cases, it is very important. You have to keep it in your mind. It will be very useful. Without that, we cannot do active to passive voice. Thank you. Bye.
That's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe and share and turn on the post notification so you never miss a video. Thank you. Bye.